Venus Williams is a tennis icon who has won 73 titles, 7 Grand Slams, including 5 Wimbledons, 2 US Open, and she's a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, and she has been regarded as one of the greatest tennis players of all times. So how did a girl from Compton, Los Angeles achieve such great success? What is so special about Venus Williams that let her reach these heights? And what can we learn from her life that we can implement in our life to achieve these heights? So today we're going to dive into this topic. If you are struggling from low self-esteem, low confidence, then this video is for you. So for Venus Williams, the science of being a champion really started at a very young age. In fact, there's a famous interview of a young Venus Williams when she was only 14 years old. And I believe it was a day before she was going into a match. And this interviewer was asking the young Venus Williams, only 14 years old, a question. And he asked her, are you sure you are going to beat your opponent tomorrow? Are you going to win the match? Of course, I'm paraphrasing, and in which Venus Williams replied very confidently with a little smirk on her face and say, I know I'm going to beat her. In which it actually shocked the interviewer and made the interviewer ask the follow-up question. The interviewer asked the young Venus Williams, you answer it so confidently, why? And in which it really provoked Venus Williams' father, Richard Williams. He was sitting at the back and he got up really frustrated and angry at the interviewer and said to the interviewer, why are you asking Venus these questions? She's already answered these questions very confidently. She said she's going to beat her opponent. Why are you making her doubt herself? And at this very sign, we could see that Venus Williams at a very young age had a very strong self-belief and self-confidence. We could see from that interview that this young girl at that time, of course, was destined to be great. So what can we really truly learn from the young Venus Williams? What we can learn is that there's one thing that she always had at a very young age was self-belief and self-confidence. And I strongly believe that if we were to adopt a sense of self-belief and self-confidence in our walk, whatever you're trying to achieve, maybe you are in uni right now trying to get that degree, trying to get that master degree, the PhD, maybe you're a young tech startup, maybe you're a young entrepreneur, maybe you're a young musician, an actor, maybe you're a young influencer, a public figure, whatever you're trying to achieve in this life. Do you know that if you was to add a bit of self-confidence and self-belief into your craft, that the things that you would be able to achieve will be mind-blowing? You see, we live in a world where negativity and not having enough, so to speak, self-confidence in yourself is something that is really being praised out there. In fact, many a times when we look at someone who's really confident, like the young Venus Williams, the other people begin to act like the interviewer and start asking you, why is Rudolf so confident? Why has this person has so much self-belief in themselves? Because we live in a world where people are so negative. And sometimes people can take your confidence and self-belief as a sign of arrogance, because they don't understand that in order for you to really achieve great success, there has to be a strong level of self-belief inside of you that needs to be louder than all the naysayers and doubters in your life. In fact, research have shown that people really reach the top level in any industry have a very strong self-confidence and self-belief in themselves. So Venus Williams at a very young age had this really strong self-belief, was instilled by her father. Her environment didn't allow her to have any self-doubt in her mind. And I strongly believe that the reason why the father got so angry with the interviewer is because the dad has worked so hard to implement this self-belief into this young black girl coming from Compton, Los Angeles. The work the father had to put inside of her daughter, only for someone who do not understand the self-confidence and self-belief that this young girl had in herself, only for him to try and put a little doubt into her mind of why she's so confident about beating an opponent. So the question that we need to ask ourselves is, number one, how do we build up our self-belief and self-confidence? Well, we're going to discuss this today in this video. Well, we're going to use Venus Williams' life as an example to find out how we build this self-esteem, how we build this self-confidence and this self-belief. Well, number one, how we will build this self-belief and self-esteem is through preparation and hard work. You know, Venus Williams constantly talks about the preparation that goes into becoming a top athlete. She spent hours on the court in Compton, Los Angeles, practicing with her younger sister Serena and her father, King Richard, constantly practicing, putting in that work. The preparation allowed her to feel so confident in her ability. And the reason I strongly believe that why many of us don't have self-belief in whatever we're trying to achieve is because we don't really put in that work. How many times have we gone into an exam room and we failed to really revise for the exams? How confident do you become? You don't really become confident because you realize that you've not really put in that work. But anytime you spend hours just revising on these exams and you go into the exam room, you just have that confidence. Why? Because you've prepared yourself. I know you've heard this often. You know, if you fail to prepare, then you prepare yourself for failure. And many a times, the lack of preparation in our craft, the lack of preparation in our field is the reason why it's holding us back in our field. You know that when I started my journey as a speaker, I spent hours, you know, in front of my mirror, in my bedroom, in my car, just constantly speaking, constantly pretending, acting as if I'm already speaking in front of multitudes of crowd. I was putting in the work. So when that first opportunity ever came for me to go and speak in front of an audience, the preparation that I put inside my craft allowed me to have so much confidence and self-belief in what I was doing. Of course, you're going to hit a little bit of nerves here and there, but as soon as you begin to do whatever you're doing, that nerves leaves you because of that self-confidence and that self-belief that you have in your craft. Venus Williams said that she put in hours of work. So can you honestly say that you are really putting hours of work into your craft? You're currently in university right now trying to acquire this degree, whether it's a master's degree, a doctor's degree, or a PhD. Can you confidently say you're really putting in that work? You want to be a musician, you want to be an actor, an entrepreneur. Can you confidently say that you're really putting in that work? How's your preparation like? Because the lack of preparation will diminish your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your self-belief. Venus Williams said that how she built her self-confidence and self-belief was through preparation. So today, I'm urging you guys to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for success. Success is always easy when you prepare yourself. It becomes a second nature to you. Michael Jordan said that he always took 100 shots. When it was crunch time, when it's time for him to take a decision-making shot, it was just repetition for him. People will be amazed, like, oh my God, I can't believe Michael Jordan just hit this shot. For him, he's been doing this constantly. Repetition, preparation. So the confidence to take that shot for Michael Jordan is really nothing. It's second nature to him. And the second thing on how to really change our self-belief and self-confidence in ourselves is through positive affirmations and change of vocabulary. We really need to start changing the way we speak. Personally, I do not allow words like I can't and try in my vocabulary. I don't say, oh, I'm going to try and do this. People that are close to me know that I always say, I'm going to do this. I don't say, I can't do this. I never use that phrase, I can't do this. I might say, oh, temporarily or currently, I'm unable to do this, but I am going to do this. The word can't, I won't even use those terminology. And some of you, your vocabulary is actually stopping you to achieve greatness. Venus Williams said that she changed her vocabulary. She constantly told herself that she's great. Now, some of you guys may have mixed feelings about positive affirmations and so forth, but you have to constantly tell yourself that you are the right person for this job. If not you, who? And if it's not now, when? You have to begin to change your vocabulary. You have to surround yourself with people who build that self-esteem inside of you that makes you believe that anything that you say, anything that you want to do is attainable. You really need to start working on this. So these are the two things today I learned from Venus Williams, and I believe that it propelled her from a young age when she was only 14 to now to really succeed in her field. And I believe that we can use this in our field. I want you really to think deep about the things that you're doing right now and ask yourself, am I really in the right frame of mind? Am I really preparing myself to succeed? Or am I just going with the flow? I'm just winging it. Are you really preparing yourself to succeed? And number 2, pay attention to the words that you're currently speaking. Are they building you up or are they crushing you? And as always, we want to leave with a positive, practical steps for you to work on this very moment. As I always say, this channel is dedicated to your 3 P's, that is purpose, potential, and personal fulfillment. We want to unlock these 3 P's. And in order for us to do this, it's not just through motivating and inspiring words, which is, of course, it has its place, but it's through action, practical steps. And that's what we're going to do today. So for the next 7 days, what I want you to do is to really pay attention to your vocabulary. Pay attention to the things that you're saying concerning the things that you want to achieve in this life. So if you find yourself constantly saying, I can't, stop yourself and change to a different word. Don't use the word can't. Don't use the words I'm going to try. Don't use the words like I'm not capable of doing this. Begin to change your vocabulary. For the next 7 days, really pay attention to the things that you're saying and surround yourself with those people. And number 2, I want you to really put in that work. I want you to put an extra 1 hour, just an hour, on top of maybe you're already working 5 hours on your craft, 6 hours, 10 hours. I congratulate you for that. But I want to really challenge you to put 1 extra hour on top of it. Just add 1 more hour on top of whatever you're doing and see the results. Give yourself 7 days and see the results. So the young Venus Williams, the 14-year-old Venus Williams made history. It's time for you to create your history. If not you, who? And if not now, when? My name is Rudolf High-Definition. Be inspired today. Thank you for watching.